It's the Battle of Texas. In Game 1, the Mavericks of Dallas had 8 players in double figures for a big team win. Game 2 was won by one big man as Houston pulled even behind a 41-point, 26-rebound performance by Akeem Olajuwon. Game 3 was another big game for Roy Tarpley, but it still came down to 4 seconds and 1 shot. Game 4 is next, followed by Game 4 of the Denver-Seattle series. This could be the last night for Houston and Seattle, but it will be a great night of NBA action.
TBS Sports presents the NBA Playoffs, America's Game. Tonight's game is brought to you by Miller Brewing Company, sole sponsor of the U.S. Olympic Training Centers, and by Honda, who invites you to experience the all-new Accord Coupe at your local Honda dealer.
From the summit in Houston, Texas, it's Game 4 in the Western Conference Best-of-5 series between the Houston Rockets and the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas leading this best-of-5 set 2-1. Hi, everybody. Along with Don Nelson, Pete Van Weeren welcoming you to Houston. Could be the last night in the playoffs for Houston. They'd love to send it back to Dallas for Game 5. The Dallas Mavericks up 2-1 in this series. And Don Nelson, the Dallas Ball Club, has gotten a lot of contributions from a lot of people throughout this series. But the big man has been that 6th man, Roy Tarpley.
Yes, Pete. Dallas has played outstanding basketball so far. Their team is shooting over 51% as a team, and they can even play better. Their 2 star players, Mark Aguirre and Blackman, have not played that well yet. As a duo, they're only shooting about 39%. But the man who's emerged in this series has been Roy Tarpley. What a performance. He has emerged as a young superstar in the league today, and yes, I'm going to say superstar because there's nobody better.
And while Blackman and Aguirre really haven't done much yet for Dallas, and the #1 player in the Houston team, Akeem Olajuwon, has been about the whole team for Houston, except for that one game where Sleepy Floyd had the big night. Akeem needs some help tonight.
Yes, it's almost an opposite. Akeem has carried this ball club, shooting, rebounding, doing everything except passing the basketball. However, he hasn't got much support. He needs a good production out of his teammates tonight if they're going to win.
Now, the Houston Rockets have lost on their home court to Dallas the last 3 times these teams have played. The last 2 times in the regular season and just 2 nights ago in the playoffs. What does that do to a team's confidence, Don?
Well, I think it's all in Dallas's favor. They know they can win here. Houston has to be wondering at this point, although they've got to win. This is a must game. They're going to go home. They don't win this one, Pete.
So the Battle of Texas will be getting underway here at the Summit in Houston in just a few minutes. But right now, let's go back to our studios in Atlanta, where Craig Sager is standing by.
Thank you, Pete and Don. Last night, the theme was staying alive. Boston, Detroit, and Atlanta could all advance to round 2. But New York, Washington, and Milwaukee won on their home courts to stay alive in the playoffs. Tonight, the pressure is on Houston, Cleveland, and Seattle, all with that home court advantage. We'll bring you Seattle and Denver as the second half of our doubleheader. And at halftime and between games, we'll have highlights of Cleveland and Chicago. Also coming up at halftime of Game 1, the plays of the month. Why they say the NBA has the best athletes in the world. That's at halftime. Up next, the Houston Rockets and the Dallas Mavericks.
You gotta stop and taste the high life. Stop and taste the high life. Spend some time just finding out what you're working for, what it's all about.
Miller High Life, brewed to be smooth, never bitter. Takes time to make, time to enjoy.
Stop and taste the high life.
Miller High Life.
With its 24-valve 2.7-liter V6 and advanced anti-lock brakes, this is the performance sedan that's making European automakers uncomfortable. But with such amenities as a leather-trimmed interior and sophisticated stereo system, there's no reason you should feel that way. The Legend sedan, precision-crafted performance from Acura.
First, Gillette made shaving closer. Then we made it smoother. with Atra Plus. Its Luber Smooth Strip glides the razor over your face for Gillette's smoothest shave. The Atra Plus system. First we made it closer, then we made it smoother.
It's the Quaker State Porsche Sweepstakes and Rebate, and everybody wins. Mail in the rebate by May 13th, and you'll have $360 per case in your pocket, a great oil in your engine, and maybe a Porsche in your garage. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
Just about set to get underway here from the Summit in Houston, Texas. The Dallas Mavericks leading in this series 2-1. Here's the way the Mavericks will line up. Aguirre, Perkins, and Donaldson up front. Blackman and Harper in the backcourt. But we're going to see a lot of interchangeable parts in this Dallas team. Veteran coach John McLeod now in his 15th year as an NBA head coach. The Houston Rockets down 2-1. Start out with Joe Barry Carroll, Rodney McCray, and Akeem with Eric Floyd, Sleepy Floyd, and Robert Reed in that backcourt. Their head coach Bill Fitch, another veteran coach, 18 years as a head coach in the NBA, and over 100 playoff games to his credit now. Here are tonight's officials. Jake O'Donnell and Paul Mihalik work the game. Bernie Fryer is the alternate, and we are set to get underway from the Summit. The Rockets saying before this game, almost to a man, they need to get off to a good start in this first quarter. And they do control the ball at the outset. Sleepy Floyd working against Harper.
Pete, I think it's very important that Sleepy Floyd be very aggressive offensively. He can't stand around tonight if they're going to win.
He's had a very erratic series. He scored 12 points in the first game, 42 points in the second, and then 10 points in game 3.
Well, he can score with the best of them, and I think it's really important if Houston is going to win that he has some big numbers, certainly in the 20s.
McCray over to Akeem. Only 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and Akeem Olajuwon has the first 2 points of the night. Derek Harper working against Sleepy Floyd. Aguirre, who hasn't had a whole lot of minutes in this series, and his first shot comes up short. McCray the rebound. The Houston break. McCray keeping it. It's going to be offensive interference.
That's a great call by Jake O'Donnell. That was a tough call to make because it looked like that it had some space, but it really didn't.
So Dallas gets the ball back. Down 2-0 early. Harper. Down to Aguirre. Aguirre trying to get himself established offensively early, has not been able to come up with anything yet. Another Houston rebound. Floyd to McCray. McCray dishing off. Joe Barry Carroll's jumper won't go. Dallas ball.
Mark Aguirre has got to establish the low post game for the Dallas Mavericks. That's where he makes his living, down close to the basket. Even though he's only 6'6", he is really a good inside player.
And away from the ball, Jake O'Donnell blows the whistle.
I think we should also mention the job Rodney McCray has done on Mark Aguirre. Mark's numbers are down, his shooting percentage is down, and it's due to that man right there guarding him, number 22, Rodney McCray.
The foul was called against Reed. And the turnover gives the ball back to Houston. Yes, Aguirre admits that the toughest man for him to play against is Rodney McCray. Because he causes him more trouble than anybody in the league defensively.
Rodney is an outstanding basketball player, and probably the least of the things that he does is score.
Olajuwon. And a whistle. That's another foul on Reed. So Reed has picked up 2 quick fouls here early. It's still a 2-0 Houston lead with 2 minutes gone by in the opening quarter.
The referees are establishing that they're not going to take any foolishness tonight. They're going to have a clean game.
Rolando Blackman gets Dallas on the board. Down low to Carroll. And the ball knocked away by Perkins. Harper to Aguirre. Aguirre with a short jumper. Won't go for him. He's missed his first 3 shots. Again, Carroll down low, out to Akeem. Akeem working against Perkins. Floyd.
That's a big basket for Sleepy Floyd and the Houston Rockets. You can see they're not going to let Dallas post up. They're not going to let the Rockets, without any double team down low, have any more than a dribble.
Harper's shot won't go. Another Houston rebound. They've dominated the board so far. Robert Reed dishes off to Joe Barry Carroll. His baseline jumper is good. And the Houston Rockets have opened up a 7-2 lead. The Dallas Mavericks call a timeout with 8:54 remaining in the opening quarter. Tomorrow night here on the Superstation, a triple header. The Braves and the Phillies get things started at 5:35 Eastern. That'll be followed by Game 4 in that Boston-New York Knicks series. Skip and Rick will have that one, and then Portland-Utah immediately following the Boston-New York game. Bob Neal and Don, you'll be heading west, and I'll be heading east tomorrow. If we all get to the right places, that'll be our triple header schedule tomorrow night.
Yeah, they're all going to be exciting games. I tell you, this is NBA basketball at its best.
Houston off to an early lead. They're doing exactly what they were saying they had to do tonight.
They have gotten off to a beautiful start. I think maybe it's time that we mention a little something about Mark Aguirre. You know, for the first time in probably a long, long career from college and high school on, he was taken out of the lineup down the stretch in a ball game. He did not play the last 8 minutes in the last ball game. John McLeod choosing to go with a bigger lineup, and Dallas won. I think that might have hurt his confidence a little bit, and he's missed his first 3 shots tonight.
Rolando Blackman missing that last jumper. Mavericks with Blackman again. And he has the 4 Dallas points. Dallas now 2 out of 6 from the field in the early going. Sleepy Floyd through the lane. Olajuwon along the baseline.
Well, that is some play by a 7-foot center, taking it home like that. And as you can see, Sleepy Floyd was aggressive getting into the paint.
Houston by 5 with just under 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Perkins. His shot is short. McRae the rebound. Rockets with a big rebounding edge early. McRae missed the layup. Dallas with a chance to come right back. Aguirre all the way. And we're going to have goaltending called against Carroll.
I don't believe that ball was going to fall. I believe that he was bailed out by Joe Barry. Here it is again, the goaltending. I don't think that ball was going to go in. That would have been 0 for 4. Maybe that's going to get Mark off now.
A 3-point Houston lead. Neither team shooting particularly well. Dallas 3-9 now. Houston 4-9. Sleepy Floyd trying to get hot. Can't make it fall. Dallas with a rebound. Harper looking down to Aguirre. He's got McRae on him. And we have a 3-second violation called by Paul Mahalik.
I don't know very many people who can get away with not double teaming Mark Aguirre. Houston is one of them. That shows you what a great job Rodney McRae is doing on him.
So Houston with a chance to improve upon their 3-point lead now.
You know, so far, Pete, a trend in this game that I've seen is that they are not going, that is, the Houston Rockets are not going to Olajuwon. They're trying to get the other players off, probably to boost their confidence, because they know that they're not going to be able to win this game unless they have some balanced scoring.
That last foul called against Derek Harper. And Harper and Floyd getting into it now. Jake O'Donnell restraining Sleepy Floyd. Joe Barry Carroll coming over.
Sleepy has a history of having a hot temper, and he loses it pretty quickly. He had a big fight earlier this year in Phoenix, and I believe was suspended for a game.
So now tempers have cooled, and McRae will inbounds it to Sleepy Floyd. Mismatch now with Donaldson on Floyd. Carroll left open. Can't get it to fall. Donaldson the rebound.
You can say what you want about Sleepy Floyd, but he's a big-time winner.
Aguirre against McRae. Out to Perkins. Dallas continues to be a little cold from the field. Sleepy Floyd, length of the court. Wouldn't call for it. All the way out to midcourt to Perkins. He's got Harper, but he's going to keep it himself, and he can't get that one to drop. It stays 9-6 Houston. Now Akeem along the baseline over Donaldson. 6 points for Akeem.
I don't believe Akeem's missed a shot yet, and he's getting them on his own because they're trying to get other players involved in their half-court offense.
Akeem now 3 out of 3 from the field. Houston's lead back up to 5 with just under 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Aguirre got that jumper to go for him. That's his 4th point. 11-8. Perkins got a hand up. Oh, he's a good defensive player. Floyd got it back, though, for Houston and traveled. Two of the best defensive players in the game with McRae and Perkins on that court.
Absolutely. What people don't understand is that Perkins probably has the longest reach on the Maverick team. And when they play him at small forward like they did the last game, they actually go 7 feet right across their front line with Donaldson and Tarpley and Perkins playing together.
Aguirre missing another jumper. And Houston has the rebound. He is now 2 out of 6. Aguirre is from the field. Houston up by 3. 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and a foul is going to be called against Perkins. That's his first. Now Joe Barry Carroll takes a seat on the bench. Jim Peterson checks into the Rocket lineup. Olajuwon had 3 Mavericks on him. Still gets the shot away, and he still hasn't missed.
Pete, he was triple teamed that time and still managed to take a dribble away from the defense and score. That is amazing.
Houston by 5. Harper. Donaldson with a rebound. Rolando Blackman. And the Mavericks just can't get anybody with a hot hand right now. Houston with a chance to open up their biggest lead. Peterson through the lane. His first basket. And Houston leads it by 7.
This is a good 20-second timeout by John McLeod. The Mavericks are just having a tough time getting on track. And he just wants to talk it over and say, hey, look, fellas, right now we have a free chance at winning this ball game here. But if we don't, we're going to go home. So let's relax and let's win it.
And we should point out, as we did on the Open, that Dallas really has had a lot of success in this building. They beat Houston twice here during the regular season. And they won one of the games in their 2-1 advantage in this series here at the Summit.
It's 3 in a row that they've won here, Pete, so they ought to have all the confidence in the world that they can win again. A lot of people, of course, think, well, maybe Feet is going to catch up with them, and Houston's just going to have to win, but I don't believe many coaches feel that way.
You saw Roy Tarpley check into the game, replacing Perkins. Tarpley has led the team in scoring and rebounding in each of the first 3 games of the series.
He has been their most productive player in the playoffs, Roy Tarpley. And it is really fun to watch him away from the ball.
6 seconds left on the shot clock. Donaldson forcing a shot. Olajuwon the rebound off to McRae. Houston up by 7. Reed back out to Sleepy Floyd. Seconds left to shoot it. Sleepy Floyd puts it up, won't go for him. Rebound battle for. Olajuwon comes out of there with it and traveled.
Another good call. It was a travel, there's no doubt about it. He did shuffle his feet, but what a rebound. Boy, did he go after that one.
So with 3:35 remaining in what has been a very low-scoring first quarter, Houston on top 15-8. Rebounds about even now. Dallas with 11, Houston with 10.
You know, if it's a trend that I can see, it is a very strong defensive effort by Houston. They have really clogged up the middle.
Here's the man the Mavericks hope will get him going, but Tarpley misses his first shot. And Olajuwon came down with a rebound and was fouled by Mark Aguirre. That's Aguirre's first. Third team foul. McRae will inbounds it to Sleepy Floyd. Peterson to Hakeem Olajuwon. He has 8 points and 5 rebounds already. Nice pass underneath to Peterson, and Peterson drew the foul.
That's the one part of Hakeem's game that isn't as strong as the rest of his game. He can block shots, rebound, run, and score, but his passing still has a lot of improvement to make. But there he makes a beautiful pass to Peterson.
Peterson now with 3.
You know, there was a time, Pete, when Peterson owned Harpley. And now I think it's just the opposite. Harpley is the most dominant player right now between the two.
Peterson now with 4, and Houston's lead, a 9-point lead with just over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Detlef Schrempf, who has checked in for Dallas. Vegas cannot find anybody with a hot hand. And they've tried several. Peterson to Reed. Back to Peterson. Puts it up over Tarpley, but it's short. And Schrempf pulls away the rebound. Length to the court. Sleepy Floyd there to intercept. Tipping it to McRae. McRae to Reed. Hakeem over Donaldson. One of his rare misses tonight.
So far, it's been all Houston.
They've got a timeout called by Houston with 2:18 remaining in the opening quarter, and the Houston Rockets have dominated things so far. They lead it by 9.
One of the reasons that Roy Tarpley is having such a great playoff is look at the picks that he gets. He gets one on the baseline and one up top. Now there's a setup for a 7-footer to shoot a jump shot, and Roy Tarpley can make that shot.
But this Dallas team, which has shot 51% over the first 3 games, shooting just 21% now, and the front line is 2 out of 12. Mark Aguirre's 2 for 6. All the other frontliners are 0 for 6 from the field. Sleepy Floyd with a steal.
You saw the double team on the baseline that time. Sleepy got the steal.
Reed missed it, but the follow.
I am so impressed with Houston's defense. It's not just one player playing. It's the entire 5 guys on the team playing as one defensively.
The Rockets now lead it by 11 with 1:45 to go in the opening quarter. Perkins back in the Maverick lineup. Harper scoring his first basket of the night.
Well, that was a long drought, Pete. They needed that really bad.
So the Rockets lead now a 9-point lead. Down to Peterson. Peterson with 6 points.
You know, I'm really surprised that Dallas has not tried to run the ball a little bit more, although Houston is making most of their shots. There's not a lot of rebounds, but they seem to be very content with playing a half-court game.
Once again, offensive interference is going to take a basket away.
Boy, things are not going well for Dallas.
1:05 remaining. Sleepy Floyd wide open.
Exactly what they have to do, Pete. Hakeem drew the double team, baited like he was going to shoot it, kicked out for the jumper.
Dallas taking another timeout as they have fallen behind now 23-10. And all the talk in the newspapers and around the summit before the game tonight was Dallas just saying we've just got to keep on doing what we've been doing. Houston saying we've got to come out and establish something early. And right now, Houston is doing what they had to do.
Well, obviously, the pressure is on Houston. It's all over if they don't win tonight. And they're approaching the game properly. They're approaching it at the defensive end. They're running. They're going to be the aggressive team. They want to get to the open court. And that's exactly what's happening, Pete. They're dominating the game at this point.
And, of course, Don, you're with the Golden State Warriors, and it was you that made the deal that sent Sleepy Floyd and Joe Barry Carroll over here to Houston. And it has worked at times for them. At times, it hasn't worked for them.
Yes, we acquired Ralph Sampson, and they decided to break up the Twin Towers and go with a different look for precisely this moment. That is the playoffs. They thought that they could be a more dominant team if they changed their roster. And we're going to see tonight if that's going to work or not.
Houston leading at 23-10. We've only got 54 seconds remaining in this opening quarter.
There's a young man right there, Sleepy Floyd, who's an outstanding basketball player. he does have the ability to score the ball at a very, very high level. He was averaging in the high 20s when we made the trade, and one of the reasons the trade was attractive was because they needed a point guard here if they were going to compete for a championship. They got a really good one in Eric Sleepy Floyd, and of course along with Joe Barry Carroll.
So with 54 seconds remaining in this opening quarter, John McLeod trying to get his team going. Houston on a 14-4 run right now, and the basic reason has been there hasn't been a single member of the Mavericks that's been able to establish a hot hand at all.
I think they're going to have to get in the open court. I just can't see them playing a half court here on this particular game 4.
Now Brad Davis is checked in. He's one of those players able to ignite a team at times. Shrimps down low to Perkins. Perkins sends it back out to Rolando Blackman. And Blackman now has 6 points.
And even that shot was contested by Eric Floyd. They double teamed. He came over, he rotated over, and really gave that shot a problem.
McRae along the baseline, out to Akeem. 5 seconds left to shoot it. It's short. Tarpley pulls away the rebound. Davis to Schrempf off the glass. Won't fall for him. Well, they've had a lot of shots come close and not drop. Just 9 seconds left in the quarter. Schrempf again underneath. This time he does get it to fall.
2 good opportunities in the open court. At least they looked like they were aggressive in the open court that time.
2 seconds remaining in the quarter. Sleepy Floyd launches one as the first quarter comes to an end. The Dallas Mavericks having all sorts of problems at the Summit tonight. After one, Houston 23, Dallas 14.
And Integra, precision crafted performance exclusively at your Acura dealer. And by Wendy's, the best burgers in the business.
Well, there's a look at the first quarter statistically, and that pretty well tells the story of what the Mavericks' problem has been, shooting only 29%. Houston not doing that much better at 42%.
Well, it can't get much better, much worse than that, Pete, although I will say that the Houston defense has been outstanding, and it's very difficult to get a good shot.
Houston leading at 23-14. Dallas missed by just 2 points, scoring the fewest points in the first quarter of an NBA playoff game. And Don, I hate to remind you who the last team that only scored 12
Oh boy,
in the first quarter. The Milwaukee Bucks against the Celtics.
Oh yeah, that was
in 86. Blackman. And the ball tipped away by Purvis Short, who is checked in.
They're going to go at Purvis Short for 2 reasons. First of all, they don't want him on the court because they know he can get hot with that rainbow jumper. But he has a sprained ankle, and he has trouble moving laterally. I think you're going to see Dallas go at him, isolate a little bit, and see if they can't go one-on-one on him.
Shrimp had the shot blocked by McRae.
Another great defensive effort by Rodney McRae. Is there any better small forward defensively than this man right here?
Davis will inbounds it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Blackman gets it back to Brad Davis. Davis, his first basket of the night. And the Houston lead now a 7-point lead in the opening minute of quarter number 2.
Well, he just barely got back in bounds to score that one. That was close.
Hakeem lost it out of bounds. Six turnovers now for the Rockets.
Here we see again Blackman setting the screen, trying to get Purvis Short involved.
And we got a whistle before the shot. Gone against Jim Peterson. That's his first. Davis launching one. Won't go for him. Hakeem pulls away the rebound.
They have not had a shot that hasn't had a good hand up in their face all night so far.
Sleepy Floyd can't get it to fall. McRae had the rebound, lost it. It's loose, and we got a whistle. Tarpley committing his first personal.
That's one player that they cannot afford to get in foul trouble. Roy Tarpley. They must have in for the second half, and I know that John's going to be very careful if he picks up another one.
Peterson, the only player so far tonight to take a trip to the free throw line. He's now 3 out of 3 from the line. 7 points all told.
There has not been a lot of penetration by either team into the paint very often. Sleepy Floyd got in there just a couple of times, and that's been about it.
Houston by 9 again with 10:50 remaining in the first half. Schrempf driving.
Strong
Detlef
move.
Schrempf now with 4 points.
Strong move by Schrempf into the middle. That's one of the few times Dallas has penetrated.
Floyd working against Davis. Down low to Akeem. Triple team down there. Still got the shot away and still hit it. His 10th point.
That is amazing that he's able to do that.
Houston by 9. Perkins to Schrempf. They get it to Blackman underneath to Tarpley. And Tarpley with his first basket. A 7-point Houston lead with 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Tarpley trying for the steal. John McLeod not happy with that call.
That's exactly what I was talking about. There's the second foul early. They cannot afford to lose Tarpley.
Second foul called against the Mavericks in the quarter.
John's made the change. They now have Sam Perkins guarding Akeem.
Purvis Short, who has been ice cold in this series, hitting only 5 out of 20, hits his first effort in tonight's game.
That is such an important shot by Purvis Short, because the last game he was 0 for 5. He couldn't make a shot. That's the first good look at an open shot he's had I think all playoff.
Blackman can't get it to go. Sleepy Floyd came over to help out, but Blackman there for the steal. Into the lane goes Rolando Blackman for his 8th point. A 7-point Houston lead. And a little pushing back and forth underneath.
Akeem threw the elbow. That's a technical foul. That's a great call by Jake O'Donnell. Saw it early. We don't want to have any violence out here. We don't want to have any fights. And he's establishing himself right now. That's the proper way to do it. Take a look at this now. He runs by him, takes the contact, and there's the elbow.
Brad Davis hit the technical for his 3rd point. It's now a 6-point Houston lead. That was the first free throw effort by Dallas tonight. Took him 15 minutes to get a chance to hit one from the free throw line.
Emotions are running high right now. This is a do-or-die situation for Houston, and they're going to give it everything they have.
Akeem down low, back outside to Sleepy. Floyd through the lane. Battle for that rebound. Tarpley comes away with it off to Schrempf. A 3-on-2 Dallas break. Blackman, baseline jumper. Nope. Rebound Olajuwon. Here come the Rockets. Short almost lost the ball to Schrempf. John McLeod wanted a foul call there. Purvis Short launches that rainbow jumper. Won't go for him this time. Davis comes away with it. Dallas can now pull to within 4 points. Davis.
Oh! If you've noticed, Pete, all of a sudden we've gotten in the open court. Dallas is in the open court, and things have eased up for him a little bit offensively.
Houston's lead has been cut to 4 with 8:16 remaining in the first half.
Right now, the only thing that would taste better than a nice cold one is a cold-filtered one. Yeah, if you want a beer whose real draft taste hasn't been changed by heat pasteurization, we've got it down cold. Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It's as real as it gets.
Ma'am, would you choose Hamburger A, a Wendy's hamburger that's made fresh to your order, or Hamburger B, made ahead of time so it sits around?
If it sits quietly, Hamburger B.
But the Wendy's hamburger's fresh.
Fresh indeed. In all my 43 years of teaching, fresh is one thing I never tolerated. Not for an instant. And if that hamburger wants to talk fresh, it can do its talking in the principal's office.
Yes, ma'am.
Most people prefer hamburgers made fresh, like Wendy's, the best burgers in the business.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Oh, I love to watch the Braves play.
It's National League excitement when the Braves battle the Phillies.
Goodness gracious, one crazy summer.
Future Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt leads the Philadelphia attack. Braves versus Phillies, 5:35 Eastern on the Superstation Friday.
Denver needs all the silky moves Alex English can muster to dodge an upset bullet fired by Seattle. Game 4 coming up next on the Superstation.
Well, the only Western Conference team that knows for sure where they'll be next week is Los Angeles. They'll be in round 2 against either Portland or Utah. Denver leading Seattle. That game will be on the Superstation right after this Dallas-Houston game, with Dallas trying to wrap up this 3 out of 5 series here at the Summit. In the Eastern Conference, the Chicago Bulls and Cleveland Cavaliers involved in Game 4. Cleveland trying to tie that series up, and right now they're in good shape. Here it is 29-25. Alan Level is checked into the game for the Rockets.
There's another player, Pete, that has not played that well. They need a good game out of Level.
He misses his first shot attempt, but Peterson follows. Missed it. Tarpley another rebound. Dallas can get back to within 2. Schrepp couldn't get it to fall. Tarpley pulls away the board. 4 rebounds for Tarpley since he ended the game. Defensive effort there by Purvis Short.
It was a fantastic play.
Olajuwon sandwiched. Still got the shot away. He's amazing. 12 points for Akeem. And Houston up by 6. Akeem 6 out of 8 from the field now. Just over 7 minutes remaining in the first half.
Ever since Brad Davis entered the game, they've been much more aggressive in the open court. And I think they're going to have to get in the open court if they're going to win tonight.
The turnover on the Tarpley travel. Gives it back to the Rockets. Peterson sits down now. Joe Barry Carroll checking back into the Houston lineup.
There's Olajuwon in the low post. Triple teamed again. 1, 2, 3 players on him, and he still scores it.
Level bringing the ball down for the Rockets, who have a 6-point lead again. Carroll working against Tarpley. Had to change his shot. Dallas gets it back. Attempting to steal was Level. Schrempf got it back, and boy, did he get hammered by Joe Barry Carroll.
I don't think anybody's going to have a free look at an easy basket tonight. Both teams are very physical.
They called the foul on Olajuwon. After the foul was called, Joe Barry Carroll really clobbered Schrempf. That's the first personal foul called against Akeem. He has that one technical as well. Mark Aguirre back in. He has just not been able to get it going this series. There's Perkins with the follow, and he drew the foul as well. His first basket of the night. Joe Barry Carroll called for his first.
You know, Sam Perkins is a very, very fine offensive player, but he's very content just to go along with the flow of the game, just to do his part offensively. I would like to see the day when he's really aggressive offensively. I think that he could be one of our outstanding offensive players.
He completes the 3-point play, and it's a 3-point Houston lead now with just over 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Level launches one. Joe Barry Carroll follows. Carroll now with 4. Houston's lead back up to 5 points. Mr. Tarpley is heard from again. His 4th.
It's that shot we were talking about. Tarpley can make that long jumper.
Houston again by 3. Carroll double team. Gets it over to Purvis Short, who launches from three-point territory. No good. McCray pulls it away. Tried to hit Short underneath, and they lost it. It's going back to Dallas. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Don and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game.
There's Bill Fitch. He's done an outstanding job in changing some of the things defensively that have not worked very well in the first few games. And they have really tightened their defense up tonight.
Buck Johnson has checked in for Houston. He's on Aguirre. And there's a steal by Level. Pushes the ball down to Purvis Short. His jumper won't fall for him. Johnson the rebound. He tried to get rid of the ball, but Douglas Schrempf was there. Here's the Maverick break. And Aguirre runs into Level, and Level fouled him. That's the first call against Level. That's the fourth team foul called against Houston.
Here's a fast break. Buck Johnson passed it just directly to Schrempf. And again, here's the open court. I think Dallas has got to get there if they're going to win tonight.
Aguirre working now against Johnson. Peterson came over to help out. Perkins had the ball tipped away. It'll still belong to Dallas.
Mark Aguirre's eyes just really lit up because all of a sudden Rodney McCray is sitting on the bench, and now I think maybe Mark can get off in that low post. He's got Buck Johnson on him.
Davis. To Tarpley. Tarpley couldn't get it to fall. Rebound comes out to Johnson. Off to Level. Back to Johnson. He lost it again to Perkins. So a couple of Houston turnovers and giving Dallas another chance to pull back to within one.
Here's Aguirre working in a low hole now.
He works against Johnson. He had no luck against McCray. Misses that one. Follows his own shot and drew the foul. That's number 2 on Joe Barry Carroll.
He still didn't finish this shot, but it's much easier going now against Buck Johnson and Rodney McCray. He gets his own offensive rebound, and there's the foul.
Aguirre now 2 of 8 from the field. This is his first trip to the line.
Mark has not shot the free throw well in this series either. He's only shooting, I think, in the high 50 percentile.
And that one goes for him. 56% is all he was shooting in the first 3 games from the line. But he's hit 6 points tonight, 2 out of 2. It's a 1-point game. Houston had a 9-point lead. 4:20 the time remaining in the first half. Level into the traffic.
They cannot give Alan Level his right hand. He is one of the best penetrators to his right in the league. They better make sure that they cut that right hand off. There he goes. Good plant, drawing a foul. Nobody quicker than Alan Level going to his right.
Brad Davis committing his first. Level looking for his first points. He averaged just over 10 points a game during the regular season, but he's been averaging just 3 points a game in this playoff series.
He has been very aggressive offensively. However, he hadn't made very many shots.
Level with one more from the free throw line. He has his first 2 points. The Houston lead back up to 3. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Davis works against Level.
There's Aguirre down the low post again.
And this time the call goes against Dallas. That is 3 now on Mark Aguirre.
Here's the replay. Watch Aguirre's right hand.
Aguirre sits down. Blackman checks back in for Dallas as Aguirre has picked up his 3rd personal. Peterson through the lane.
There's a big-time shot. I must have learned that one in Minnesota.
5-point lead now for Houston. Peterson has 10 points. Blackman over Short. Rebound pulled away off the floor by Johnson. Comes off to Level. Level to Joe Barry Carroll, whose free line jumper is good.
Picture perfect semi-break. hitting the trailer. Joe Barry Carroll for the shot. Very nice, Alan.
Houston has built that lead back up to 7 points with 3:19 to go in the first half. In the paint to Donaldson. Donaldson with his first 2 points of the night. Rockets by 5. 3 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Dallas leading this best-of-5 series 2-1. Houston must win tonight to have another chance. Perkins after the Rockets turnover. Davis open. And Brad Davis doesn't miss many of those. He now has 7.
One of the priorities of the Dallas ball club is not to let Purvis Short get off, not to let him get started. So anytime he uses a screen and roll, he's going to be double teamed very aggressively.
Davis has now hit 3 out of 4 since coming into the game. 2:27 remaining. A timeout being taken by the Mavericks with Houston leading game 4 by 3. Prudential halftime report. Craig Sager will be along with all the news, scores, and highlights from around the NBA. And as you know, we'll be able to bring you from time to time live cut-ins of other playoff games. Depending on where they are in the Chicago-Cleveland game, we may be able to bring you some of that action during our halftime show. And at last report, Cleveland had opened up a big lead as they try to stay alive. You can see that even though Dallas leads in the series 2-1, they've been outscored so far, Don, by Houston.
That's counting tonight's totals, and it's been a very, very close series.
Sleepy Floyd is checked back into the lineup. Hakeem over Donaldson. Oh, he's amazing. 14 points for Olajuwon. Houston by 5. 7 out of 9 from the field now for Hakeem. Donaldson works against Olajuwon. His baseline jumper is good. He has 4 points.
James Donaldson has a very, very fine, soft touch from down in there low.
Hakeem to Peterson. Peterson, I don't think meant to take that shot. He just lost the ball and is called for the foul.
There's a guy that doesn't have a very, very soft touch. Pete, don't run over him.
His second foul. Dallas gets it back. They can pull it within a point now.
This is a little play called pick the picker for Blackman.
Puts it up over Reed. Rolando now with 10 points. And Dallas has pulled back to within 1. They trailed by as many as 9. Perkins coming up with the ball. Peterson trying to tie him up. A jump ball.
That's great hustle, boy. In a big game, that is great hustle. Don't you love to see it? Take a look at this now. Peterson finds himself in trouble. Go down on the floor and get it. That's great. Dean Smith must have taught him that.
That'll be Peterson. And Perkins. And if Dallas gets possession here, they can grab the lead. They do get possession. 1:20 remaining in the first half. Houston has seen a 9-point lead dwindle away. Blackman. Detlef Schrempf. Buck Johnson responsible for that block. He gets tangled up with Schrempf, and we're going to get a foul call.
Another great call by Jake. Saw the trip. That was not an accident. Detlef Schrempf tripped him on purpose.
Schrempf called for his first. Both teams in the penalty situation now.
I think Houston has outplayed them tonight by a large margin. However, if you look up at the score, Houston's only up by 1 at this point.
Buck Johnson seeking his first points of the night.
Take a look at this now. The shot block.
Johnson hit 1 out of 2, and Houston leads it by 2 with a minute to go in the first half. Donaldson gets around Hakeem and puts home 2 more points. He has 6. And this game is tied.
That could be the first time in his career he's done that from the forward position.
A turnover gives it back to Dallas, and now the Mavericks can take the lead. They've got to feel very good about the way they've come back in this first half, Don.
Yes, absolutely, and they'll probably go 2 for 1 here. They're going to get 2 shots. They'll probably shoot one with about 34 seconds or so. They got to get it up now pretty soon.
Dallas has not had the lead. They were tied at 2 in the very early going. Now they have the lead for the first time tonight. Perkins with 5 points. The crowd trying to get the Rockets going. When in question, give it to Akeem. He now has 16 points.
Truly amazing. He was triple teamed again. He hasn't had to look at a single coverage all night.
We are tied at 44. Mavericks will play for a final shot here, try to take a lead to the locker room. And Paul Mihalik is going to call an offensive foul against Dallas on Brad Davis. His second. Now let's see what Houston tries to do here with 4 seconds remaining.
That's enough time to get a good shot up if they're prepared.
Level is checked back in. Steal by Perkins. Look at that.
Now that is a good shot. By the wrong team, however.
Dallas has the 2-point lead now. Perkins with 7 points. And Level carried it. Houston self-destructing here in these final seconds of the first half.
That is amazing. Now Dallas is going to get another chance to score. John has a set play now that he wants to run for a quick shot.
That is the 8th turnover in this quarter, 13th of the night. Schrempf was trying to go home with it. And time has expired in quarter number 2 with the Dallas Mavericks, who
spectacular passing and sensational individual moves stood out. Milwaukee's in the playoffs for the 9th straight year. Paul Pressey shows he has eyes in the back of his head. Seattle's Dale Ellis led the Sonics in scoring, proving he can score with either hand. Not to be outdone, Dallas's Mark Aguirre, a shot that could put you on the bench unless it goes in. And there's always a little magic when the Lakers are in town. Irvin Johnson on the fast break to James Worthy. New York's Mark Jackson, worthy of Rookie of the Year honors, with a great pass to Patrick Ewing. And as you know, Boston's Larry Bird does it all. He seems to have a sixth sense for those around him. And what's a highlight tape without Michael Jordan? Last but not least, Isaiah Thomas of Detroit fakes a pass to himself, dishes off to John Sally. Another look as Isaiah pays the price for faking out.
It's 10 out of 34, 29%. And the bench, as I mentioned, they got 10 points off their bench. The Bulls with only 6. Sellers will put it in play. Jimmy, you're Mike.
Bulls work at the length of the floor. Sam Vincent brings it up. Vincent into the front court, guarded by Price. Vincent out between the circles, a straight-up dribble. Takes it right side into Corzine, low right. Corzine through the double team, comes traveling on Corzine as he made the dribble across the lane. So Cleveland comes back with a 12-point lead. Price comes into the front court. Price off to the right. On the move against Vincent. Dumps it into Doherty. The hook shot. Goaltending on Oakley's block. Doherty gets the bucket. Brad Doherty with 14. They shoot so well. And the Bulls have helped him, blocking 3 shots.
What are you doing that near the rim
for goaltending? 57-43. Cleveland up 14. 11:28 left in the third. Wide right is Sellers. Sanders backs off. Brad Sellers gives to Vincent. Out top of the circle. Vincent swings it left to Corzine. 5 on the shot clock. Long jumper. No good by Corzine, and Ron Harper the rebound. Here's Price pushing it on the drive. His pass tipped out of bounds by Sellers. He tried to hit Sanders on the wing on the left.
Bulls end up with long shots, and
Sanders comes inbounds to Harper in the left corner. Out front is Price. Right corner shot, Sanders. Rimming no. Sam Vincent, the Bulls rebound. Sam hustles it up on the drive. Takes it off to the right side, shoots under pressure, and hits the shot from the right baseline. His first 2 points of the game. Here's Harper, quick comeback for the dunk, and Cleveland keeps the 14-point lead. Ron Harper ran the floor and jammed with a right hand. Ron Harper with 10 points tonight. 59-45 Cavaliers. 10.
The Cavaliers, we mentioned, coming into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. They nearly won a game in Chicago. They're trying to even the series. But let's go back to Dallas and Houston. Pete Van Weeren and Don Nelson.
There's your halftime score. Houston opened up a big first quarter lead, Don Nelson, and things were going exactly the way they felt they had to go in the first quarter, and then everything fell apart in the second quarter. What does Bill Fitch have to say to his team to get them going here in quarter number 3?
Well, I never saw Houston play any better defensively than they did that first quarter. They were just outstanding. Dallas couldn't get an open shot at all. They had trouble scoring, and it just reversed itself in the second quarter. All of a sudden, they started making defensive errors. Although they were good spotty, they weren't consistent at all, and it gave Dallas an opening. Now, what do you say as a coach when you're going into the locker room? Everything is going okay. You have a 2-point lead, and in the last 24 seconds, Pete, things change, and instead of being 2 up, you're 2 down. That's the toughest thing for a coach going into the locker room at halftime. All the momentum at this time is with Dallas. If they can come out right now and they can get some consistent production out of their star players, that is Blackman and Aguirre, I think they can take it.
Take a look at the first half statistically. Shooting percentage is about even, not a big advantage on the free throws. One big difference, rebounding, a big Houston advantage, but they negate that rebounding advantage with the turnovers. And 15 points scored by Dallas off Houston turnovers to 7 scored by Houston off Dallas turnovers. There's your individual leaders, but Houston still being plagued by the same problem. Outside of Olajuwon and Peterson, Joe Barry Carroll 3 out of 7 from the field. Sleepy Floyd 2 out of 9 from the field. Purvis Short 1 out of 4 from the field. That's what plagued them the last couple of games.
That consistent, balanced scoring has not been present in the Houston lineup all series, and it's not really that much better tonight.
Here we go, quarter number 3 underway. It is Harper, Perkins, Blackman, Donaldson, and Aguirre on the court for Dallas, and Aguirre going to the hoop with his 8th point. Dallas by 4.
In this second half, I think Mark Aguirre is the key player. He has got to come on offensively.
Floyd, McCray, Carroll, Olajuwon, and Reed on the court for Houston. Olajuwon over Donaldson.
You saw again, Pete, the triple team, and he still went baseline and scored. This man is amazing in this series.
He now has 18 points, 9 of 11 from the field. He's also pulled down 8 rebounds.
He's doing his Michael Jordan interpretation.
Since you mentioned Michael Jordan, we'll mention something about Akeem that really hasn't been talked about much. They're going to call it goaltending.
Another good call by Jake. That ball was trapped. You cannot trap the ball in pro basketball. Let's look at it. Yes, nice call, Jake, right on the play.
So Aguirre now has 10 points. Perkins with a rebound. Dallas leading by 4 can open up their biggest lead of the night. Remember to stay tuned during tonight's game to see one of the entries in this year's NBA TBS Hall of Fans competition. That's coming up later in tonight's telecast. Only 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Perkins is going to force one from 3-point territory. And Joe Barry Carroll pulls away the rebound off to Sleepy Floyd. You know, Akeem Olajuwon has a chance to break Bob Pettit's 4-game scoring record. One of his few misses tonight. Blackman pulls away the rebound. Akeem needs 34 tonight to match Pettit back in 1963 with 144 points. Michael Jordan just needed 2 points. He's got that record already. Neither team getting anything going right now.
There have not been many free throws shot in this game, and it doesn't look like there's going to be many this time either in this half.
Perkins had the ball slapped away. Mavericks ball. This quarter starting out, Don, very much like the game started out.
Absolutely. I think Bill Fitch had something to say about the lack of defense in the second quarter, and they've started right out again in this third quarter playing the same kind of aggressive defense.
9:51 remaining third quarter. Aguirre may be warming up. He has 6 in the quarter, 12 on the night.
Well, there's a guy that if he's on, it doesn't matter about your aggressive defense. He's going to be able to score offensively against anybody if his game is on.
Dallas now by 6. Dallas leading in this series 2-1. They can end it with a victory tonight. Houston battling for their playoff lives. Sleepy Floyd is 2 of 11. McCray had it slapped away. And now Dallas can open up an 8-point lead.
You know, Pete, when Sleepy had the big game, the 42-point game, Dallas allowed him to drive down the middle with his right hand. And if you allow Sleepy to do that, he's going to have a big night.
Harper missing. Carroll the rebound. Dallas with a 6-point lead. 8:49 left, third quarter. Akeem draws the foul.
Donaldson laying that big body on him. It still didn't matter. He drew the foul. This is the way you have to play Akeem. You have to play behind him because of his jumping ability. There's the double team. Donaldson pushing him, trying to push him out of bounds, and he drew the foul.
Olajuwon's first trip to the free throw line, and he's not normally a good free throw shooter, but he has been in this series, Don.
He was in the 60s for the regular season, and in the playoffs it is amazing. He's 30 for 35 going into tonight.
He's 2 out of 2 tonight, has 20 points all told. It's Dallas by 4 again. McGuire on McRae. Gets it to Harper, back outside Perkins, who's open. But he missed the jumper. Donaldson pulls away the rebound. A fresh 24 on the clock for the Mavericks. Aguirre. 8 points in the quarter, 14 in the game now for Mark Aguirre. Dallas by 6.
If Dallas ever gets their 2 stars playing as a unit, both playing aggressively offensively and playing well, I think they're going to be able to win this game.
Sleepy Floyd finally got one to fall and drew the foul.
But if you notice, he's not allowed to go to his right. He went to his left that time and still scored.
Foul was
making
on
him use
Perkins.
the left hand. Big play by Sleepy.
He completes the 3-point play, making the free throw. He now has 8 in the ball game, and Dallas with a 3-point lead now. 7:55 left, third quarter. McRae on Blackman now. Aguirre from 3-point territory. When you're hot, you're hot. He has 11 points in the quarter, 17 in the game. That's his best game offensively in the series.
He is gifted offensively. He's one of our very special players. He has a gift, and he's using it in this quarter.
Dallas with a 6-point lead. Akeem got the basket to fall and drew the foul. Sam Perkins committing his third.
That's a very proud man, Akeem Olajuwon. 7 feet tall, and he has the quickness of a 6'6" small forward.
If you're starting a franchise, is he your first player picked?
If you're looking at centers, he's the first player that you would go after. But if you're just looking for players, I think Bird and Magic would have to be chosen ahead of him probably. Maybe Michael Jordan too. He would be about a 4th.
Perkins. Six seconds on the shot clock from deep in 3-point territory. Aguirre missed that one. Olajuwon on the rebound.
When you're hot, but that's ridiculous, Mark Aguirre.
Robert Reed. That's his first basket of the night. And Houston back to within 1 now with 6:50 remaining, third quarter.
Dallas is getting into their offense way too slowly. By the time they're ready to execute, the clock is down to 5 seconds.
Five seconds on the shot clock. But Aguirre was able to convert. Aguirre now has hit for 13 third quarter points, 19 in the game. Dallas by 3.
You can give the Houston team credit defensively, but they have to speed their half-court offense up. They have to get into their gravy areas of the court early.
Joe Barry Carroll amidst all the green shirts couldn't get it to go. Donaldson the rebound. Mark Aguirre was only 2 out of 8 from the field in the first half. Perkins with his 9th point. Aguirre is 6 out of 7 from the field in this third quarter.
That's their first open court basket of the second half.
5:53 remaining in the third quarter. Look at the people around Hakeem Olajuwon. Unbelievable. Olajuwon has scored 25 points. He has 9 of the 14 Houston points in this third quarter. And he'll have a chance to get another one when we get back after this timeout with 5:48 remaining in quarter number 3. The Denver Nuggets lead that series 2-1, but tonight they'll be without Fat Lever, and that comes up next on TBS. Bob Neal and Steve Jones standing by to bring you all the action from Seattle. Pete Van Weer and Don Nelson back with you from Houston.
Look at this. Look at this.
Same thing that's happened in the first part of this playoff series, Don.
It is amazing. Now, this is just tonight, but if you look at all 4 ball games, the rest of the Rockets are shooting 39%. Hakeem is up there around 54%. Take him out of the lineup, and the rest of the team is only shooting 39%.
Olajuwon at the line. He's 3 out of 3 from the line tonight. He was fouled by Aguirre. That's 4 now on Mark Aguirre. 10 in the quarter, 26 in the game for Hakeem Olajuwon. Houston can tie it. McCray couldn't get the basket to fall, but drew the foul. They can still tie it from the free throw line.
Hakeem has some of the quickest hands in the league, and he's 7 feet tall. He's one of the most gifted athletes that we have.
Blackman committing his first foul. That puts Dallas over the limit.
Dallas is over the limit now. That wasn't a bad full court pass by Olajuwon either. Right on the money.
McCray, who averaged 12 points a game during the regular season, averaging 8 during the playoffs. That's just his 3rd point of the night.
This game has turned out to be a half-court basketball game. Both teams are very, very strong defensively tonight. If you're a basketball fan, you can enjoy this kind of game.
5.5 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. And the rough and tumble contest continues. Robert Reed called for that one. That's his 3rd. Cleveland Cavaliers trying to stay alive in their series with the Chicago Bulls, leading by 7.
Pete, it's just very, very difficult in playoff competition to have one player dominate offensively. And as great a player as Michael Jordan is, and as great a player as Hakeem Olajuwon, they just cannot do it consistently. You have to have, that's why they call it team basketball. You have to have 5 men participating in offense.
Blackman now with 12 points. He's also picked up 9 assists in the game. Dallas up by 2. Peterson, who had a good first half, will take the short jumper. Won't go for him. McCray with a rebound and the follow. McCray with 6 points. We're tied again at 63. Just under 5 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Donaldson over Hakeem. James Donaldson now with 8 points. Dallas up again by 2. And Jim Peterson hits for his 12th point to tie the score at 65.
Well, that gives the Rockets a big lift when Peterson can come on offensively.
Underneath, Aguirre draws the foul. That's Peterson's 3rd.
He's one of the best small players in that low box. And he can take advantage of much bigger opponents. However, he has a very difficult time with Rodney McCray defensively.
Saw some speculation in one of the newspapers today that Aguirre might be moved to a shooting guard spot next year. Do you think he can play out there? Do you think he's quick enough?
I think he can definitely play out there because he has a great feel for basketball, but I don't think he's going to move Blackman out of there.
67-65.
You know, if he would accept the role, he would be one of the outstanding 6 men. But I don't believe that he would accept that role.
Hakeem with people all over him. Still maintains possession. Out to Sleepy Floyd. Floyd couldn't get it to go. Tarpley is back in the lineup and has a rebound.
Sleepy Floyd is 3 for 14 right now.
Aguirre working against Peterson. Boy, he is having some third quarter.
Oh, is that a big-time move?
17 points in the quarter for Aguirre, 23 on the night. Dallas leads it by 3, and Houston will call a timeout. 3:49 remaining. This program authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. We have 3:49 remaining in quarter number 3. Dallas leading at 69-65. If they're able to hold on and win this game, they will have eliminated the Houston Rockets.
Now, this is a good move, I think. Rodney McRae playing the point forward now. He's going to run the offense and let Sleepy work a little bit with some screens down low.
Rolando Blackman called for his second personal.
They have got to find a way to get Sleepy Floyd involved in the offense. He is not shooting the ball well. He seems to be a little timid, not knowing when to feed the big guys and when to shoot the outside shot. So Bill Fitch has decided to run him off the single-double screen down low and let Rodney McRae bring the ball up.
Robert Reed at the line. Houston now 15 of 16, now 16 of 17 from the free throw line as a team. Reed has 4, and the Dallas lead a 2-point lead again. 3.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Rolando Blackman.
That's an illegal defense. I didn't think they were going to see it, but they did. You cannot double team a man without the ball.
That is the first illegal D we've had called against either side tonight.
You can double team the ball, but you cannot double team a man without the ball. And they had 2 men guarding Donaldson that time in a low pivot.
Cleveland holding on to that lead over Chicago. Dallas holding on to its lead over Houston. Schrempf has checked in for Blackman. Donaldson now with 10. Dallas leads by 4. Reed through the lane. Couldn't get it to fall. A battle for the rebound. The ball goes back to Dallas.
You know, one bad thing about playing a big lineup is there is no room for penetration. And when you have 2 players and sometimes 3 players on the court that are 7 feet tall and have the bulk that some of the Rockets have, it's very difficult to find penetration lanes for their quick guards.
Eric Harper trying to get it down to Donaldson. Joe Carroll there to intercept. Carroll open. Put the jumper off the glass. He has 8.
I don't believe he called glass on that one.
Dallas by 2 with 2:25 left in the third quarter. And away from the ball, a whistle from Paul Mihalik. Rodney McRae called for his first personal.
Our great offensive players in the pro game know how to draw fouls. Mark Aguirre is one of the best.
Detlef Schrempf. Aguirre's back in there.
There's another great example, Pete, of drawing the foul. He saw that Joe Barry was in a bad position, and he decided, I'll go up now, draw the foul, and then maybe the ball will go in the hole.
That is the third call against Carroll, and Mark Aguirre goes to the line. Aguirre with 23 points tonight. Olajuwon checking back in. For Peterson.
This is one area where Mark Aguirre could really improve on his game, and that would be at the free throw line. There's no reason why Mark shouldn't be in the 80th percentile every season.
He shot 77% for the regular season. Coming into this game, he was shooting just 56% in the playoffs, but he's 6 out of 6 tonight. And Dallas leads it by 4 with a little over 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
They're sleepy, working off that low screen. They're trying to get him off.
Olajuwon with one of his rare misses tonight. And now Dallas can open up a 6-point lead. 7 if this goes.
That's one of the best times to shoot the three-point shot is on that semi-break. If you can come down and pull up, you have both lanes filled for rebounding purposes, and it's a wide-open three.
Mark Aguirre has come alive. 22 points in this quarter, 28 in the game now for Aguirre. Reed misses the three-pointer. McRae the rebound. Through the foul.
And just as you saw Robert Reed that time shoot the three, that's the toughest three to make, that standstill where you get the ball back, there's no rhythm to your game, and that really makes it a longer three than the one where your momentum is coming down to the basket.
Now Purvis Short has checked back in. He hasn't been able to get going in this game either, hitting just 1 out of 4.
You know, Purvis would never use this as an excuse, but we know that his ankle is very, very sore. He can't move laterally. That hurts him not only defensively but offensively. He can't really plant to come off for his shot.
Sam Perkins checking back in. Tarpley, who has really not been that much of a factor tonight, goes back to the bench. Not like he was in the first 3 games.
They've done a good job on him, but I'm going to tell you that his work ethic is still felt by the Houston Rockets.
And McRae misses the second one, so it's a 6-point Dallas lead.
This is an interesting lineup in the game right now. John McLeod has decided to go with a smaller lineup. James Donaldson being the only big man on the court.
Mark Aguirre has been remarkable. Another three-pointer. Dallas has opened up a 9-point lead. Aguirre with 25 points in the quarter, 31 on the night. Olajuwon, if he hit that shot the other night, Houston would have won the game.
That's right. That was the same shot from the other elbow. He had it wide open. He just missed.
28 for Hakeem. Dallas by 7. Aguirre fouled by McRae.
What a feel Mark Aguirre has down in that low box. He's very gifted offensively, as we've mentioned quite a few times tonight. But just take a look at the draw on this. He sees that McRae is out of position. Make sure that his body collides, up for the shot, go to the free throw line and score 2. If he was a great free throw shooter, that would really improve his game.
A record for a Dallas Maverick for Aguirre.
He is on a roll right now.
He has taken over this game.
You know, there's 2 kinds of mismatches on the court right now. Houston has decided to stay with their big lineup against the small lineup of Dallas. Dallas is winning that battle.
Aguirre with 27 points in the quarter. Hakeem Olajuwon isn't having a bad night either. He's now has 30 points on the night.
I think they're so happy when he catches the ball outside of the paint that they're just letting him shoot.
Dallas by 7. There you see the time remaining in quarter number 3. Perkins was fouled by Hakeem.
Dallas is going with quickness and ball movement as opposed to the inside play of the Houston Rockets.
So with 18 seconds remaining in the quarter, Sam Perkins going to the line. He has 9 points. Perkins, a very consistent player. You look at his line every game, and it's almost identical night after night. Scores in double figures, pulls down 6 to 10 rebounds. The box score doesn't very often tell you a whole lot about some of the other elements, though, the passing and the defense.
He is a terrific basketball player, and they're very fortunate to have him.
Trying to get that lead back up to 9, and he does.
You know, John McLeod is one of our outstanding coaches in the league. And it's interesting, they went with a big lineup to win the ball game their last game. And tonight he's going with the small lineup to gain this big lead.
Houston playing for the final shot in the quarter. Hakeem will take it and hit another one. Dallas by 7. Schrempf losing it out of bounds. Now Houston will have a chance to put another one up.
Everybody ran away from the ball. That wasn't Sam's fault.
See what the Rockets do here. Only a second remaining.
Well, they better go right inside to Olajuwon. Now Olajuwon is going outside. Looks like they're going to have to go for a lob.
Hakeem with 32 points tonight. 2 more and he'll have 144 points in the 4-game series, which was the NBA record set in 1963 by Bob Pettit. Surpassed tonight by Michael Jordan, but if Jordan wasn't doing what he's doing, Hakeem would have been the guy getting all the headlines.
Seems like he's had 144 tonight. I don't understand why they're getting it underneath. The ball went out of bounds on the side.
We also had a second added to the clock. It's 2 seconds now on the clock instead of 1.
Oh, he may have stepped on the line throwing the ball inbounds.
Carroll launching one, it won't go, and that's the end of quarter number 3. Houston dominated this thing in the first quarter, but the Dallas Mavericks trying to win this series tonight go to the 4th quarter up by 7. Well, Don, after that great defensive effort by Houston in the first quarter, the Mavericks have blistered the Rockets in quarters 2 and 3, outscoring them 69-53.
And thanks to that fella right there, Mark Aguirre finally had the big quarter that everybody was looking for, and it couldn't come at a better time.
So now Houston really in desperate straits. They're down by 7 points with 1 quarter to play. They have to win tonight to stay alive.
I think you're going to see Houston open it up a little bit this quarter, see if they can't run a little bit more. They seem to be trying to get it inside all the time. There's no room for penetration. If they're going to make a comeback, they're probably going to have to get in the open court.
Purvis Short, Rodney McRae, Alan Level, Hakeem Olajuwon, Joe Barry Carroll on the court for Houston. Shrimp, Davis, Tarpley, Perkins, and Blackman for Dallas.
Mark Aguirre almost broke the NBA playoff record for points in a quarter with 25.
Sleepy Floyd has that record.
He scored 27 against the Lakers.
Purvis Short called for the personal, his first. And Rolando Blackman will go to the line.
Here's the open court we've been talking about. Brad Davis, one of the best point guards at running that open court offense.
Actually, I've got Aguirre for 27 points in the third quarter and 33 on the game, which would tie him with Sleepy Floyd. Cleveland hanging on to that lead over Chicago. They're in the 4th quarter now at the Coliseum. 14 points for Rolando Blackman. Dallas by 9.
Oh, there's a big pick by Olajuwon right at the line. It's very dangerous.
An illegal defense being called.
Illegal defense violation called against the Mavericks. That's their first violation. Subsequent
First time that's been called against the Mavericks. 1 now on each side.
Douglas Shrimp was in a little bit too deep from that weak side, trying to stop the lob.
Once again, 3 Mavericks on Hakeem. Tarpley tried to block the shot, is going to be called instead for the foul.
Yes, he hit him on the arm.
His 3rd foul.
It's called on the Mavericks number 42, Roy Tarpley. That's his 4th personal foul. First team foul in the period called against Dallas. Hakeem Olajuwon
Olajuwon with 32 points on the night. 4 out of 4 from the free throw line. And all of a sudden, he's become a deadly free throw shooter, Don.
Why is that? I mean, is it concentration? You'd say, well, then concentrate during the regular season.
He's now 35 out of 40, 36 out of 41 for this series.
That is amazing. That was one guy you could foul and always have a chance that he'd miss at least one.
And he now has 144 points in this 4-game series, which ties the old NBA record held by Bob Pettit for the last 25 years. But Michael Jordan's going to wind up with a lot more than that. Of course, their series could go to a 5th game. This one might not. Dallas leading it by 7 with 10:45 remaining in the ball game. Tarpley missing. Level had it taken away by Tarpley. And we're going to get the offensive foul called.
That was a big call on Tarpley. He's in foul trouble, and they need him down the stretch worse than anybody on their ball club. That's 5 fouls on Tarpley.
And he has to go to the bench with that 5th foul, but that may not be such good news for Mark Aguirre as checked back in.
See if he can pick it up where he left it off.
85-78 Mavericks. 10.5 minutes to go. Offensive foul going to be called against Level.
Nice move by Brad Davis there, drawing that charge.
Davis brings it down for the Mavericks. Perkins gets his own rebound. No doubt about that one. 13 points for Sam Perkins. Dallas by 9 again.
That's not a bad offensive move, is it? Get your own offensive rebound and take it home.
Level hits one from long range. His 4th point. It's a 7-point Mavericks lead. Perkins again. And it'll come back to Houston.
Take a look at the small lineup now John McLeod has in the ball game. He has Sam Perkins playing center. I'll tell you, John has really become a flexible coach.
Totally different approach from the last game when he had Aguirre on the bench and the 3 big men in there all at one time.
And he's working off a feel right now, a way that he thinks he can win, get this team moving.
Short. Unable to get it to fall. And a loose ball foul called. Jim Peterson's 4th.
Here's Purvis short. They really need Purvis to get off. Here's the push. You can see Peterson underneath pushing Douglas Shrimp. Dallas's ball movement is excellent right now. They're attacking the weak side. They're not just playing one side of the court.
Ball will still belong to Dallas as Peterson stepped out of bounds. Davis lobs it out to Perkins.
If Sam Perkins can make some shots here. Oh, that was a big miss. He's taking Elijah Wan away from the basket.
Short. Hits one. Maybe that'll get him going. It's his 4th point. And it's a 5-point Dallas lead.
If he gets it going, Dallas, you have some problems.
Aguirre has Reed on him now. This crowd has come to life here at the Summit. It's the loudest they've been all night, trying to rescue their Rockets. Just 2 seconds left on the shot clock. And Shrimp was able to draw the foul.
I'll tell you, Sam Perkins has got to be more aggressive here. He has Elijah Wan away from the basket. He must attack Elijah Wan. This is pretty good positioning.
4 fouls now on Robert Reed. Davis off the glass, wouldn't go for him. Peterson the rebound. Houston can get back to within 3.
Dallas has missed 2 easy shots.
Reed works against Perkins. He'll take the jumper. Aguirre the rebound. So now a chance to get that lead back up to 7, and another layup miss. Elijah on the rebound. Eleven rebounds now for Akeem. Underneath. And it tipped away. Got it back. Muscles it up. Tips it. No. Rebound further short. Stolen by Aguirre. Blackman over Reed. He missed the layup. Purvis short has it.
That's 4 layups Dallas has missed in the last minute of play. They could have really put this game away.
Once again, Houston with a chance to get back within 3. Lloyd losing it it to Aguirre.
I don't know who's been lucky here. I think Houston is lucky because there's been 4 layups missed by Dallas. The small lineup has been very successful, but they haven't finished their layup.
Davis finally got a layup to fall. He now has 9 points, and Dallas able to get that lead back up to 7 after 3 chances that Houston had to cut it to 3. They were unable to do so. A timeout with 6:52 left to play in the game. Right after Braves baseball, which gets underway at 5:35 Eastern time tomorrow night. Game 4 in that Celtics-Knicks series. Skip Carey, Rick Barry will have that one for you. Right after that one, Portland, Utah with Bob Neal and Don Nelson. And don't forget, right after our game tonight, we'll take you to Seattle for Game 4 in the Denver-Seattle best-of-5 series.
John McLeod coming back with Donaldson now. But I think that small lineup was very effective. And can you imagine if they would have made 8 other points, they could have run away with this thing.
We have 6:40 left to play in the game. Olajuwon in all that traffic. He now has 36 points. That's what he's been averaging throughout this playoff series. The Dallas lead is 5. Aguirre, nice feed to Davis. Count the basket. He drew the foul.
Excellent cut by Brad Davis. I think Sleepy may be hurt. He hit that back support pretty hard.
Ray Melchior, the Houston trainer, coming over. Floyd back to his feet now.
Here's the replay now. Watch this great cut by Brad Davis. Sleepy falls asleep here. Good cut to the basket. Now watch Sleepy hit the support. Oh, you missed it.
So Davis with a chance now for a 3-point play. He's one of the best free throw shooters around. He now has 12 points. And Dallas has built that lead back up to 8. Time running out now for the Rockets. Still plenty of time to pull this one out, but they better get started soon. About 6 minutes left.
There's that man again.
Missing that one. Rebound Davis. The Mavericks can open up their biggest lead of the night.
Dallas going to their isolation game again. Mark Aguirre in the low hole.
7 seconds left on the shot clock. Down to 4 seconds now. Good ball movement. Gets it to Davis, but he missed the shot. Aguirre trying to keep it alive. Out of bounds. Whose ball will it be? Dallas.
Another great call by Jake O'Donnell. The referees are doing an outstanding job tonight, even though there have not been a lot of foul shots. It's been a very well officiated game.
And again, the Mavericks with the chance to open up that 10-point lead. 5.5 minutes remain. Dallas trying to beat Houston here at the Summit for the 4th straight time this year. Aguirre now has 35 points, and he'll have a chance for 36.
John McLeod seeing that mismatch, knowing that Mark Aguirre is one of the best small forwards in the low box, is going to him every time now.
Peterson now has 5 fouls.
Take a look at this move by Mark Aguirre. That's a 3-point play.
Aguirre in the first half had just 6 points. Had scored no more than 16 points in the first 3 games of this series.
I don't think it matters who's guarding him right now, Rodney McRae or anybody else.
Dallas now with an 11-point lead from 3-point territory.
That could have been the biggest shot of the ball game. They need Sleepy to come on now. He just made a 3-point shot.
He has 11 in the game. It's an 8-point Dallas lead with 5 minutes to go. And an illegal defense going to be called against Houston, and that's a technical foul.
That's another great call by John McLeod. He isolated that time Blackman on the wing. They're expecting to go to Aguirre. Aguirre vacates the low box, and they get the illegal defense.
World B. Free checking into the game for the first time.
This is a very, very difficult assignment for any player to come off and play only in the 4th quarter in the last 5 minutes of a ball game. where you've been sitting the entire game. It's going to be interesting to see if World Free can make a contribution here.
The Mavericks are still perfect from the free throw line tonight. 17 out of 17. Dallas up by 9 with 4:50 to go. Rolando off to Aguirre. McCray is on him now. Bothered him some. He missed the shot. Peterson pulls away the rebound. McCray takes it toward the glass. Olajuwon with a steal. Sleepy Floyd from three-point territory. That one wouldn't go for him. That man has done everything he can to try to get Houston to win this thing. Sleepy Floyd now 4 out of 16 from the field.
Houston's getting desperate now. They've got to come up with some big plays.
Davis dishing off to Perkins, and the foul before the shot. Sleepy Floyd called for his second.
Elijah. There's one of the old guards in our league. And as you get old, well, you got to anticipate a little bit more. And he anticipated he had a little advantage and took full advantage of it. You know, Pete, for the first time, I think Olajuwon is really getting tired.
Well, you can't blame him.
Can't blame him at all. Boy, what a game he's had.
Sleepy Floyd checks out now. Alan Level checks in.
One of the most important things now for Dallas to do is to keep this crowd out of the game, to make sure that they score at least every other time down the court.
Davis now with 14. Dallas has widened that lead to 11. Time beginning to work against the Rockets.
There's World Free. See if you have the old stuff, World. Being double teamed.
A turnover. And the Mavericks are having things pretty much their way here in quarter number 4. Remember, they were shut down in the first quarter.
That's what I was talking about, Pete. When you come in cold, it's very difficult to be able to play, especially when you're an old player like World Free.
Foul is called on Houston's number 43, Jim Peterson.
That foul is on Jim Peterson, and he is fouled out. Just to give you an idea of what Akeem has done tonight for the Houston team. He is 15 out of 24 from the field. The rest of the team, everybody else on the team, 18 of 58.
Here's another difficult assignment. Cedric Maxwell has been sitting the entire game. The fourth quarter now, with only 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go, he's going to be asked to be the savior. Very difficult.
Perkins at the line. He has 13 points tonight, 3 out of 3 from the line. Dallas has not missed a free throw tonight. Still have it.
Between Max and World Free, you've got about 40 years of experience. Been sitting pretty cold.
The first free throw missed tonight by the Mavericks, but their lead is 12 points with 3:40 remaining in the game. Level, and it'll go off the foot of Davis. Houston will get it back. They've got 12 seconds on the shot clock.
If you've ever played defense now, Dallas, now is the time.
McCray inbounds it to Level from three-point territory. Olajuwon with his 13th rebound, and he'll take another trip to the free throw line.
That was a great foul. They were going to give up the 2 points anyway. I know Olajuwon is scoring from the free throw line, but you got to put him there anyway. Look at this great effort by Akeem. Good fake. Up he goes.
Akeem in this series, in game 1, 34 points, 14 rebounds. In game 2, 41 points, 26 rebounds. Game 3, 35 points, 10 rebounds. And here in game 4, 38 points and 13 rebounds.
Here's the trap by the Rockets. Full court.
Dallas by 10.
Max trying to trap in the backcourt, and he's still not warm.
Eight seconds remain on the 24-second clock. Ball goes to Houston. They'll bring it back. Maxwell, Level, Free, Olajuwon, and McRae on the court. The Bulls, trying to win that series, have pulled out in front of Cleveland in the fourth quarter. Cleveland was leading handily earlier in that game.
If the game is close, I think Michael Jordan is probably going to do it.
They wait for the clock to be reset at 3:08.
Dallas now has got to move their defense out. No easy three-point shots.
Hakeem almost lost it. World be free, trying to get rid of it. Perkins down to Rolando Blackman. Blackman with 17. Dallas by 12. This Houston crowd beginning to sense it as some desperation shots being launched now. Level hitting that three-pointer. He has 7.
There's no excuse for Level shooting an uncontested 3. Brad, you've got to get on him.
Dallas by 9. There's your time remaining. Five seconds left on the shot clock. World be free, the rebound. Aguirre. Boy, this thing really getting wild and woolly now, as Houston is really getting desperate. We've got a timeout call. 2:12 remaining in the game. Dallas, a 9-point lead in what could be the final game of this series. Tonight's Polaroid Picture Perfect Play is brought to you by Polaroid Spectra System, the only camera that makes time stand still.
Here's Aguirre in the low hole again. Watch this great move he puts on Reed. This is a three-point play, and he says, yes. Don't take me out of the lineup again, John. I'm going to win this one for you.
101-92. What a night he has had.
That's as good a second half offensively as I've seen in a while if you take Michael Jordan out of it.
His first 3 games in this series, Aguirre had 16, 15, and 14, and sat out the last 8 minutes of Game 3. Two minutes remaining, perhaps in the Houston season. Now we'll see what kind of shots Houston puts up. Olajuwon has been remarkable.
How can you leave him open?
40 points for Hakeem. A 7-point Dallas lead. Still time for the Rockets, but they're going to have to do it defensively first.
They have to hold Dallas scoreless now if they want to win it.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. And a foul on Hakeem.
Number 34, his third personal foul.
Here's Hakeem. He has great hands. He reaches in here on the wrist.
Bill Fitch not looking very happy over there on the Houston bench.
Tarpley makes just one. It's going to be very difficult, and he did.
The amazing thing of this series, Roy Tarpley has been a big factor in the first 3 games, not that much of a factor tonight. If they pick an MVP for every series, even though Houston apparently is going to get beat 3-1, you could still vote Hakeem Olajuwon the outstanding player in this 4-game series.
Absolutely.
Level from 3. Well, Level doing his part. He's hit it 2 3-pointers here. He now has 10. It's a 6-point Dallas lead.
That 3 was earned. I don't blame Brad Davis for that one. He earned that one.
Houston now 4 to 6 from 3-point territory. We're down to a minute to go.
Let's not be too casual, Mark Aguirre. This game is not over yet.
7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Aguirre.
Now it is.
Aguirre.
Have you seen a better half than Mark Aguirre has played tonight? When things are going bad, they're going real bad. They make the 3-point, but Fitch had called a timeout.
So with 51 seconds remaining, Dallas still has the 8-point lead. And right now, let's go back to our studios in Atlanta, where Craig Sager is standing by.
Thank you very much, Pete. The Chicago Bulls down by 2 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Less than a half minute to play. Let's go to Jim Durham and Johnny Kerr.
Price outside, standing dribble. Swings it wide left to Harper. Shot clock at 12. Nance has it against Grant. Nance right of the lane. Spins back, fakes. Right side, Sanders. Sanders in the lane. Lean in, jumper. Got it! Back after these messages on the Bulls Network.
Cleveland now up by 4. The Cleveland Cavaliers, we mentioned, dropped the first 2 games of the series. They won Game 3. They're trying to win tonight to force a 5th and deciding game, which will be played Sunday in Chicago. Now let's go back to Pete Van Weeren and Don Nelson for the conclusion of Dallas-Houston.
Okay, thank you, Craig. And you see just exactly what Dallas appears just about ready to do. Only one team in NBA history won its final 2 games on the road, and that was Denver in '86 against Portland.
But it even goes better than that. They won 2 in regular season here at the end of the. That's 4 in a row.
That's amazing.
On this court. That's very difficult for anybody to do.
Houston only has lost 11 games in the Summit this year. 10 during the regular season, 1 during the playoffs. If they lose tonight, that'll be 12 losses, and Dallas will be responsible for 4 of them.
That is amazing. You know, one thing that Dallas couldn't do when they did have both Sampson and Hakeem playing together was not only win here, but to beat them, period. They always had difficult time with him. I think that gave them some sort of confidence when Sampson was traded.
Maxwell into Free. Houston needs some 3-pointers. World B Free can't get it to go. Olajuwon trying to keep it alive, but Aguirre comes away with it. Derek Harper. Dallas will use some clock now. They are just 30 seconds away from heading to round 2.
I tell you, John McLeod has done some job in this series. Think about it. In the last game, he goes with the big lineup. Down the stretch, Mark Aguirre is on the bench. Doesn't play in the last 8 minutes. They win. Tonight, who's the guy he goes to? Mark Aguirre, off the bench. Second half, nearly a record. Maybe a tie. Who's right? You, Pete?
I think he had 27 in that 3rd quarter, which ties the Sleepy Floyd record against the Lakers. He's got 38 on the night.
But when he got the lead, when he went up 8, when he went up 9 points in the second half, he had a small lineup in the game. So he's done it always.
And what a reception he gets over there on the Mavericks bench. Schrempf has checked in. The fans, the Rocket fans, are heading for home.
The great offensive players are going to get off sometime. You can't hold them down forever.
16 points for Perkins. Dallas will win this thing 3-1 as their dominance over Houston in the Summit continued in the playoffs.
I thought Hakeem was going to make the 3. He's made about everything else, hasn't he?
I wonder what he will feel like at the end of this series, as hard as he's worked, as well as he's played.
Well, you can't do any more than Hakeem's done.
His season is over. Joined us here. First of all, Mark, congratulations on an absolutely outstanding performance, especially that second half.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Mark, I got to ask you a question. Last 8 minutes of the last ball game, John goes with the big lineup. It had to hurt your pride a little bit. And yet tonight, he goes with you. You come out and I think set a record in the playoffs for points in a quarter in that 3rd quarter. Did that have an influence on your production?
Well, you know, I have to go with what we're going with. Coach McLeod has stated to me that a lot of times it looks like he's doing something, but it's something else that he wants out of the team. And I've been committed to, you know, doing whatever he wants done. And he had told me, eventually you're going to come. You're going to come. You know, just keep fighting, keep playing. It's going to come, and thank the Lord it came for me tonight.
Mark, let me ask you about the confidence you guys must have in this building. You beat Houston here the last 2 times during the regular season, then come out here and beat them twice in the playoffs. That's almost unheard of in the NBA.
Well, it's not a big confidence, really. You know, I think that Houston is a tough team, an extremely tough team, and each time that we've came in here in the last 4 games, it was a must-win situation for us. And when teams get their back to the wall and it's a must-win situation, sometimes you come out and play a lot more intense than you really would in any other game.
Now you get to meet the winner of the Denver-Seattle series. Do you have any preferences there?
Well, no, I'm just really happy that we were able to come in and win in Houston tonight and get the monkey off our back from being clipped in the first playoff round. So I'm real happy about that.
Well, again, Mark, congratulations on an outstanding performance.
Well, thank you.
And good luck to you in round 2.
Thanks a lot.
Mark Aguirre, our Miller Lite player of the game. The Dallas Mavericks have won the best-of-5 series 3-1 over the Houston Rockets with a 107-97 victory here at the Summit tonight. Coming up next, Game 4 in that Denver-Seattle series. Bob Neal and Steve Jones standing by to bring you that one. For Don Nelson from the Summit in Houston, this is Pete Van Wieren. Hope you enjoyed the game. So long, everyone.